Leaving your comfort zone can help you tremendously. It can help you to achieve much greater things than you ever imagined before. It can help you to be something more. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you again next week. What do you fill your time doing? Something that you don't necessarily feel is very productive, doesn't really get you anywhere in life, kind of just something you do to kill time. That thing is inside your comfort zone. Now, what is the comfort zone? Well, let's backtrack a little bit. Everything you do falls into one of two categories. It's either inside your comfort zone or it's outside your comfort zone. Things inside your comfort zone are pretty easy. They're things that you can do without much struggle. You kind of just do them. They don't require much effort from you. There's no mental resistance to things inside your comfort zone. It's something that your brain is just, you know what, let's just do that. We don't really need to do anything right now, so let's just do that. Let's play video games for a couple hours. Let's scroll some social media. Let's just fill that time with something that will entertain us. Things inside your comfort zone don't challenge you at all. Now, what is outside your comfort zone? Outside your comfort zone is where growth happens. It's things that might be a little challenging. They might be hard to do. You're going to have to force yourself to get out of your comfort zone. You're going to have to force yourself to do these things. But I promise that when you do something outside your comfort zone, you grow. You feel much better when you're venturing outside your comfort zone than staying inside your comfort zone. Now, things outside your comfort zone. Things outside your comfort zone are challenging. They're strenuous. They come with a lot of mental resistance. They're uncomfortable, to say the least. But ultimately, this is where great stories come from. Cliff jumping as an example. I love cliff jumping, but it's never easy to look off that cliff and just take a leap and have faith in the water beneath you that it's going to catch you. But I will tell you that cliff jumping is one of the greatest experiences of my life. I love the feeling of jumping off and feeling free for a bit and then going into the water, and it's perfect, but it's not something that I'm very comfortable doing. It's something that I look off that cliff and I'm like, no way, that is dangerous. But then I'm like, but what a great story it will be. What a great time it will be. Gosh, cliff jumping is fun. I wish it was summer again. I would never have those stories if I didn't push myself to jump off. Now, I've been to lakes with cliffs on them, with friends that don't want to jump off the higher cliffs. Now, I seem crazy for doing it, but I'm just having a good time. And sometimes they don't want to do that. They're fine with just swimming around. They're fine with just staying within that little ball. But when you push yourself outside of that ball, when you crack open the egg and let the yolk out, that's when the real fun begins. The comfort zone is your enemy. It keeps you down in the depths of depression. It brings you pain, it brings you struggle. And just doing the things you're comfortable doing ultimately isn't going to bring you anywhere. You're going to have to eventually push yourself to do something, to be something more. But you can't do both. You can't stay in the comfort zone and also grow as a person. When you stay in the comfort zone, you lose your purpose. And when you stay in the comfort zone too long, when you don't venture outside of it, your comfort zone begins to shrink. Now, why should you try to leave your comfort zone? I mean, you're fine just right there. There's no reason to go do something hard when you could get by just staying in the same spot and just... There's plenty of things that leaving your comfort zone does for you. It destroys your procrastination. There's plenty of reasons to leave the comfort zone, to go venture out and do these uncomfortable things, to reinvent yourself, to kill your procrastination, to upgrade yourself as a human being. How cool does that sound? How cool does it sound to just be greater, to get all that homework done, to have that peace of mind, and to have accomplishments that you can tell someone, yeah, I did that. That's why you need to venture outside the comfort zone. It will boost your creativity. It'll increase your skill tree. It will improve your mental health. You will boost yourself up to levels you never even imagined when you venture outside your comfort zone. It's unbelievable what happens. But how do I leave the comfort zone? How do you do it? If you're watching this video right now, if you're just sitting on your couch watching this video right now, there's likely something on your mind that you need to do. Whether it's homework, whether it's something around the house, doing the dishes, cleaning your room, putting away your laundry, doing your laundry, anything. There's likely something that you need to do that you're putting off until later, that you're just watching this video instead. You could start with that. You could just go ahead and do it. There's something you might have heard of called the 2-minute rule. 2-minute rule. Now, what is the 2-minute rule? It's the thought process that if something can be done in under 2 minutes, you should just do it right now. If it's available to you right now and it can be done in under 2 minutes, do it immediately. This includes things like hanging up your shirts from the laundry. This includes things like little tiny homework assignments, like submitting your assignment that you already have done. You just haven't submitted it yet. It can be any of those things. It can be anything that you think of, this is a small task that could easily be done in a short amount of time. I just haven't done it yet. Well, just do it. It's fairly simple. Everything you want to achieve comes from overcoming an obstacle. You can't play a wicked guitar solo before you learn the basic chords. You can't beat the final boss of a game before training first. You can't beat Michael Jordan when you've never played basketball in your life, when you don't know how to shoot a hoop. You can't swim a mile when you've never even swam a 500. You can't run a marathon when you've never even ran a mile before. Don't try to beat the final boss at the beginning of the game. Everyone starts somewhere. You've probably heard the quote that the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago, but the second best time is right now. Plant that tree. Go outside your comfort zone. But where do I start? Where can I even begin? It's so overwhelming right now. It's a huge thing. I don't like going outside my comfort zone. It's hard. Where do you start? Start by cleaning your room. Now, that sounds like your mom telling you to do something. That sounds like, why would I clean my room when I want to play guitar solo? I want to be able to clean your room. I just explained that there's obstacles you have to overcome. There's things you have to conquer in order to be able to achieve the greatness that you're destined for. There's obstacles you have to overcome in order to get to the level that you want to be at. Everybody starts from somewhere. You can't tackle the final boss at the beginning of the game. Now, cleaning your room seems like something stupid. It's just like, what's even the point? I barely spend any time in there. But think about it. Every piece of clothing you pick up, every time you make your bed, every time you put the clothes in your laundry pile away, you're overcoming an obstacle. Yes, a small one, but you're overcoming one of those obstacles. And you'll feel more and more accomplished as you pick up each of those dirty clothes on the floor, each time you make your bed. You're achieving something. You're making steps, you're making progress. And what's better than making progress? Even if it's in something small like cleaning your room. That is progress. Now, along with cleaning your room, I want to challenge you to do something hard every day. Now, that doesn't really make any sense, so I'm going to elaborate on that. Do something hard every day. What does that mean? It means just challenge yourself to do something. It could be something small like just making your bed. It could be something small like making yourself a sandwich instead of eating cereal for lunch or whatever. I eat cereal for lunch sometimes. That's something I'm working on. Cooking is outside my comfort zone, and I'm trying to bring that in. You know, I'm not going to include that in the video. Actually doing your homework. Organizing something. Even just trying hot sauce. You're at B-Dubs, you're at Buffalo Wild Wings, you're at Wingstop, wherever you go. And you just kick it up like a couple notches above where you usually order. That is something hard. That's something you're conquering. Why do you want to do something hard every day? It challenges yourself. It challenges you to do something you didn't necessarily want to do, but by doing that thing, you're grabbing something out of your comfort zone, you're pulling it a little closer. You're expanding your comfort zone, and you're allowing yourself, and you're putting that idea inside your head that, hey, maybe going outside this comfortable space that I really like can be enjoyable, and it can't be that hard. It's not too hard to just try some hot sauce. It's not too hard to just clean your room, to pick up some dirty laundry on the floor and throw it in your hamper. It's not that hard to do that. It's not something you necessarily want to do. It's not something you're comfortable doing, but it's not too hard. Just challenge yourself. And I promise you, it will improve your life tremendously. You'll look back and you'll be like, wow, I was like that back then. I'm so much better now. I wasn't even willing to do the dishes, and look at me now. My entire room is clean. And I put the dishes away every single day. Don't start tomorrow, start today. If it's late at night, you can start in the morning, but start as soon as possible. Don't keep putting it off to the next day. Something outside a lot of people's comfort zones is meeting new people. Now, a lot of us want to meet new people. We want to expand our social circle, but it's just so intimidating. It's hard to approach someone random and just strike up a conversation. But we live in a connection-based world. Who you know matters. Now, how do you go about meeting new people? How do you go about expanding this social circle when it's so hard to just talk to people? Well, if you want to catch some fish, you gotta just cast out your line more often. If you're not casting out your line, you're not catching anything. Sometimes you cast out your line and it doesn't catch anything, but at least you're trying. You see fishermen that will fish in one place for a while, and then they'll reel it back in, they'll cast it somewhere else, and they'll continue to do that until they catch something, and eventually they do. How do you cast your line in social circles? How do you cast your line to meet new people? Well, you could start by finding Facebook groups or any kind of meetup that's something that you're interested in. Say you like playing soccer, but you just don't have a consistent group of people that want to play soccer. You can find that consistent group on Facebook or some kind of social media. Now, I don't normally recommend people to go on social media, but this is a great way to find people that are like-minded and that want to do the same thing as you are. Now, you can find people in your area always. There's always groups that you can join, and you can ask, hey, somebody meeting up in this area? Is there a community in this group that wants to go do something? And 9 times out of 10, there will be someone in that group that wants to do something, and that's asking the same question, but maybe hasn't gotten a response. Or there's already a group that you can go ahead and just join. All you gotta do is put in the effort. If that scares you, I'd like to introduce you to the 100 person challenge, the 100 interaction challenge. Now, this is a challenge where every day for 100 days, you have at least one interaction with a person. Now, that seems really redundant, that seems really stupid, but your social skills are like a muscle. You have to train it. You have to put it into practice, or else it's never gonna grow. You have to put yourself out there and you have to train your social muscles. We all learn from observing. We all learn from practice. And social skills are the exact same thing. If you simply talk to more people, your social skills will improve. I promise. Now, these interactions don't have to be very long. They don't have to be lengthy conversations. They don't have to go super deep. You don't have to get to know the person on a super personal level. It can be something as simple as asking for directions, and that's probably what it will be in the very beginning. You could just pretend your phone's broken and ask someone for directions or whatever, or just run up to someone and say hi, and then they'll say hi back, and then you run away. It doesn't matter what it is. There's only 2 rules. There has to be some kind of interaction from both sides. You start the conversation, they say something back. That's it. And number 2, you have to get their name. Those are the 2 rules to the 100 interaction challenge. Now, it's pretty basic. It sounds kind of dumb. It sounds like, why would I go up to someone and just awkwardly pretend my phone's broken and ask for directions? But I promise you, eventually you'll get to the point of having deeper conversations with these people. You just need to follow those 2 rules, and you need to do this for 100 days consistently. Consistency and repetition. Don't make it the same conversation every time. Now, it doesn't have to be anything special. You could just ask people about their music tastes, but be prepared to talk about more than just your own music tastes. Talk to them, get to know their music tastes. Maybe you ask them about their hobbies, and some people will say the same hobbies over and over again, and sometimes you'll just say the same hobbies, but show some actual interest in the conversation. Be there with the person and not just using them to check off a box. If you miss a day, don't worry. Just continue the next day. You don't need to add an extra day on that and just say, oh, I didn't do this today. I'm going to do it tomorrow, though. And make sure that you actually do it the next day. Consistency is key with any skill, anything you're practicing. You need consistency. You need that constant, okay, I'm putting myself out there. I'm going to do this every day. But in order to interact with people every day, you have to leave your house every day. And I know that can be challenging sometimes. Sometimes you are sick or something. And if you're sick, that's all right. Now, here's the time where I talk about the growth zone. Now, the comfort zone and outside the comfort zone, I explained that. But the best zone to be in is the growth zone. And there's a few steps you have to go to get into that growth zone. You start in the comfort zone. That's things you're comfortable with. That's things that are easy to do. That's things that require little effort, little mental resistance. The one right outside the comfort zone is the fear zone. Leaving the comfort zone can bring a lot of fear. Fear of failure, fear of embarrassment, fear of being judged, fear that you're not going to be good enough. Those are all completely normal. And those will come when you're trying to leave the comfort zone. Once you start leaving the comfort zone, once you get out of there, you've already overcome like half of those fears. Simply by just trying, just attempting to leave that comfort zone. That place you're so occupied in. Those are all perfectly normal. But leaving the comfort zone requires overcoming them. Once you get past the fear zone, once you get over the fears of failure, the fears of not being good enough, you enter the learning zone. This is where you learn and develop new skills, where you're going through a process where you're maybe not the best at it now, but you're getting there. You're learning those skills, you're developing those skills. Now, you're probably wondering, where does the growth zone come in? Where does that apply? Because it seems like the learning zone seems to be the zone that everybody talks about. But the growth zone is just outside the learning zone. It's where the best things happen. It's where you really become greater. It's where you really can be something more. It's where you really see yourself become something more. The growth zone is where you start applying these skills. It's where you begin to use the skills that you've developed to build yourself up, to make goals and to achieve those goals. Like a step ladder. You're slowly making it up that ladder. And this is when people begin to notice, wow, that dude's awesome. I wish I could be more like that person. That person's you. Once you enter the growth zone, once you stay in the growth zone for a bit, you accomplish things you never even dreamed of. You never even put a thought in your mind that you could be that you could be that amazing. You'll see huge changes in your life once you enter the growth zone. And you'll accomplish things that you can be proud of, that you can tell people, hey, I did that. And they'll likely be impressed too. Now, we've gone over several things at this point, but I just want to wrap it all together. And we started with talking about the comfort zone. We started talking about like why you should leave it and how you leave it. And then eventually we got into, where do you start? You start by making your bed. You start by doing the things that take less than 2 minutes, that you could easily just do, you just haven't yet. And then we delved into specifics. We delved into the expanding your social circle kind of leaving the comfort zone. And all of these things are extremely powerful. The main thing you need to keep in mind is that leaving your comfort zone can mean pretty much anything. It can mean just going outside, taking a breath of fresh air, and going back inside. Leave your house every single day. That could be out of your comfort zone in and of itself. It's so easy nowadays to just stay inside and not really do much all day. You can work from home, you can develop hobbies from home, you can do pretty much everything inside your house. But leaving your house, taking a breath of fresh air, and experiencing the world around you is powerful. And I guarantee that will boost your mood. That will make you feel like you're already changing yourself. You're already becoming something more. Now, I want to end this off with a quote and a challenge. Okay. This quote I'm about to read is from John Augustus Shedd, and it's a metaphor for exactly what leaving the comfort zone can exactly mean. A ship in a harbor is safe, but that's not what a ship is built for. You're made for something so much more than what's inside your comfort zone. And unlocking that greatness inside you is one of the most fulfilling things that you can possibly do. Leave that harbor. Deliver some goods. Serve your purpose. Because without purpose, what's life even for? The challenge for this video is to do something hard every single day for the next week. Now, I know I already talked about this earlier. I talked about doing something hard each day. But I want to challenge you guys to just unlock that potential, to just give it a shot. It doesn't have to be anything big. Maybe you don't normally make your bed, make your bed. It's something that you have to force yourself to do. And I promise your life will feel much better. You'll wake up and you'll feel energized. You'll want to do something. You'll unlock that potential inside yourself that life's not just going to be drab anymore. It's not just going to be boring. It's going to be awesome. And you're going to make it awesome. Start by making your bed. Start by eating a hot pepper. Start by taking a cold shower. Now, there's several other benefits to taking a cold shower, which I'll go over in a future video. But it's something that pushes you outside of your comfort zone. Something nobody really wants to do. But once you do it, man, you can never go back. Leaving your comfort zone can help you tremendously. It can help you to achieve much greater things than you ever imagined before. It can help you to be something more. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you again next week.